T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me. That's what I wanna do. Can we talk? Come on and talk to me, baby. Come on, baby.
Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
Maybe this will help.
Me, I really wanna see you, girl. Know your name.
Okay, see, I was trying to see how far you were going. That's wow.
Yeah,
we're
fully
we're
committed.
live. We're
Fully
live.
committed. Fully committed. Yep,
Jesus, we have to talk about your
for
commitments.
sure.
Listen, other than you have a moment because I'm over here stuffing my face.
Nah, you
Because
good. You good. I mean, like we said, we can pretty much do what we want. It don't have to look like every other podcast, every other,
because it
no,
ain't.
because it's
Ladies and
not.
gentlemen, listen, we here. Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help the Podcast, giving you that relationship talk you can relate to, the good, the bad, the alimony.
Yo,
Listen, this is season. What season are we in, bro? 6.
damn, season 6. Yep,
Season 6 episode, I believe, is
19.
19.
Yo,
And before we get too deep into it, I want to tell you guys out there who are mothers, happy Mother's Day.
happiest of Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happiest.
Happiest of
I
Mother's Day.
heard somebody
But
say today the world is just made up of a whole bunch of moms, and everything else is the byproduct of that. I was like, damn, yeah, because we wouldn't be born without mommy dearest.
well, I mean, God didn't make Adam without a woman, so I don't know. You know, it just depends. Huh?
Let him
I
have
wasn't
it, bro. Let him
we
have
wasn't
it.
talking. Okay, sorry.
Let him have it, bro. Let him
Happy
have
Mother's
it,
Day.
bro.
Happy nigga came in straight with the doggone rebuttal.
Golly, come on, bro.
Golly, not a rebuttal on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, they can have that one.
Yeah,
What up,
somebody
Sasha?
getting gaslit today.
I'm always with it. Listen, you tell me what kind of show we finna have. That's the kind of show we finna have, brother.
We're gonna listen, we're gonna nigga, the name of the show is How Did You Mess Up Your Last Relationship? So I guess that's the kind of show we're
Oh
gonna
my
have.
God, that's you. Oh
Listen,
shit.
I was trying to come up with an idea, and it's Mother's Day, and I was sitting there thinking, I just got back in town. I'm hungry. I'm like, man, listen, here we go.
Jesus, my guy, Big Reg. What up, man? Appreciate you topping in as usual, bro. Well. Ain't seen her in about 2 or 3 seasons. Mignon, what up? Happy Mother's Day to you. Anyway, while my brother is stuffing his face,
What up, Sasha?
for
Yeah.
those that have not tapped into the show before, you've reached Maybe This Will Help the Podcast. Basically, we get on here. One of our brothers, Carrie, pretty much started the show. Is basically just to talk to each other, talk to any special guests we may have. And it's about the things that, guys talk about in the barbershop behind closed doors when it's just the fellas around, when it's unfiltered, it's unscripted, you know what I mean? And we just get on here and talk about candid things, usually geared around relationships, romantic, platonic, friendships, brotherhood, sisterhoods. We talk about it all. In hopes, because it's never a guarantee that it'll help, but in hopes that maybe, just maybe, that the conversation will help somebody, anybody.
And when we say help, man, we're talking about maybe help you get what you want out of it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes somebody asked me before, like, help you do what? We are under the belief that relationships are some of the most valuable things you can acquire in this life.
Yeah.
Just because you acquired it doesn't mean you're getting all the potential out of it. So this episode is geared to help you get the full potential out of whatever the relationship that you're in. Yeah, to get the full potential out of whatever the relationship that you are in, platonic or romantic, or,
For sure.
what I'm saying, business. So that is
Or
why
business.
we exist.
Yeah, for sure.
And
All
to have fun. So
Yeah, you're
Well-
gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you may slap your partner. Who knows? You may break up with your partner. You may shoot your shot with somebody you've been wanting to shoot your shot with for years. You just never know.
not on the show.
No, on the show, listen, we didn't bought a few people. Come on. They didn't really last, but at least we did our part with the introductions.
Well, on that note, Noah, what's up? Called nigga Noah. Ray, what's up? Am I here
Bruh,
today?
who knows? I don't know what kind of pizza that is, but yeesh.
It's the bomb. Listen, we're about to get into, if you rocked with us, we're about to get into, Mike, you want to do a highlight of your week? Favorite part?
Yeah,
What's your
favorite part of my week. It was my wife's birthday on Saturday. Celebrated on Thursday. Surprised her. Had family came out and we fellowship, broke bread. I think that was the highlight of my week. And then today, me and Denham, Janae went to go visit her mom and her grandmother in Lancaster. And me and Denham just hung out together all day. He helped me do my honey-do list. He helped me put this little coffee bar together for Janae. So then after that, we sat down. He had never seen Moonwalker because we had a little Michael Jackson concert. He had never seen Moonwalker. I'm like, what? I've done you a disservice, son. So after we put the little cabinet together, we sat down on the couch and we watched Moonwalker for his first time. So that was good, man. That was good.
What do you think?
Kids these days don't get it. So he kept asking, because before Moonwalker, they have all the music videos. And he's like, is this the movie? And he kept asking that. I'm like, son, let's just enjoy what's happening right now. So we had to fast forward the music videos because he's seen most of them already to get right to the movie. So to answer your question, yeah, he ended up enjoying it for sure.
Where'd you watch Moonwalker at? What platform?
YouTube, my guy.
Okay, the whole thing.
Yep. Hour and 32 minutes.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness.
What about you, bro? Highlight of your week.
The highlight of my week is just been I've been back at my mom's house. So I'm in a spare room at her house and they're remodeling my bathroom. So just spending time with her, and it is dope because it fell on Mother's Day. I'm still there. I'll probably be there all the next week too. And she loves spending time with me. So it's really dope to just be around her and for us to be around each other and just sharing ideas and just having that quality time. Anybody knows my mom, you probably love her. And she's a mother to so many people.
Yeah.
And I've had to share her my entire life with so many different people. And to have that one-on-one time is invaluable. Because there's so much for us to catch up on. Then there's so much bonding that we get to do because we have these great conversations just about how today we went and we took her to perfume making at a little workshop, right? And so they have these walls full of different fragrances. You know what I'm saying to you? And you put them together to customize your own. And on the way home, we were talking about how like one bottle could be the mother, one bottle could be the father. And then you put them together to make the child, and how, depending on how much, 3 parts mother, 1 part father creates a certain child. and then 2 parts mother and 2 parts father creates and you smell to a certain degree like your parent. And when you walk into a room, you give off that perfume, and that perfume creates an environment, and kind of embodies your personality. You know what I'm saying to you? And so, dang, who do you act like versus who do you look like from a parental to a child position? It was a fun activity, but me and her get to have deep conversations like that, just to check in on how we occur, how we show up, because there can be certain things that I admire about my parent, but that I don't embody. And some of those are a choice. Like, oh, I love how disciplined my dad was, or I love how he was like this, but you have it in you, but you may need to tap into it through discipline, through routine,
for sure.
Which is always, just a good conversation, because there's nothing like just having potential in you that's slept on. But me and her get to have those kind of conversations. Like, how was my grandfather such a business mogul? It has to be inside of us, somewhere. So, it's good to have that self-awareness and that awakening, and then be able to apply it to your life and then enhance the quality of your life all around. So,
great.
Man, I didn't expect to say all that, but for sure.
Hey, man, it is what it is. That's cool, though. Shout out to moms, too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to my mother. She, we were all the way out in Laguna Beach somewhere.
Damn.
Or something like that. I don't know where we were at. We were far about an hour away. And she told them that she had to be back in time for the podcast.
That's my girl.
they still out there doing their thing. She's like, nah, I got to get back in time.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into the show tonight. Mike has blessed us with some cool videos, and I have no idea what the order is tonight, because I'm telling you, I just uploaded them and we walked into the room. So enjoy us as we all figure it out together.
Facts.
All right. Let's start tonight just like this.
All right, bro.
All right, peace.
See you.
Love you.
Wait, you said what?
No, I didn't say anything. You're good.
All right, see you.
I really want to be with you.
Whoa, wait, what'd you say?
Bye, I didn't say anything. I'll catch you later. Bye.
All right, see you.
One more time, in case you missed
it. All right, bro.
All right, peace.
See you.
Love you.
Wait, you said what?
No, I didn't say anything. You're good.
All right, see you.
I really want to be with you.
Whoa, wait, what'd you say?
Bye, I didn't say anything. I'll catch you later. Bye.
All right, see you.
Michael, why did you want to share that video with us tonight? What is the conversation?
The conversation it got me thinking about last week's conversation about shooting your shot and women not feeling like they should, they don't want to come off thirsty, they don't want to come off as doing too much. They feel like they should be chased because they're the prize. But then I when I saw this video, it reminded me of, so many women that are out there that instead of full on shooting, they'll drop hints and expect the man to kind of pick up on stuff and expect, well, you couldn't tell that I was flirting with you a little bit because you said hi? No, I couldn't. You know what I mean? So I think it was worth a little bit of conversation and maybe some questions to be asked to our female audience. Is what the young lady did, trying to drop the hints, I really want to be with you, but not really coming up to him and then saying it, telling him that she loved him, is that more acceptable than the full on, hey, I want to be with you, I want to take you out type of vibe? Or, should it just be left up to the dude completely? I kind of liked her approach. I thought it was fun. I thought it was cute.
I have an issue with this. My issue is I hear people trying to abide by what's appropriate, socially appropriate for a woman to do versus a man to do, depending on the society you live in.
Mm-hmm.
How far are you willing to ride that out, though? A woman says that I'm not going to shoot my shot under any circumstances. Will you go with that? Are you going to stay committed to that 10 toes down all the way up until marriage? Will you end up marrying a man that wants you versus the man that you want? Will you let it go that far to where you're at the altar with a man who shot his shot and wants you, but it's not the man that you want because he never shot his shot the way you wanted him to shoot it?
Sheesh. I mean, I feel like we see it every day. Women and sometimes men too, but since we're talking about women in these marriages that kind of don't want to be there, but it's like, well, shit, I'm here. This is what I said I would do. And she's seeing maybe even other men out there. She's like, oh man, he would be perfect for me. But I settled, or I went for the first dude that actually shot his shot the way I wanted him to, not even really being into him. You know what I mean? Or sometimes even lowering the bar. Like, man, I'm single. I'm in my 40s. I just want to be married. So the next man that come halfway decently correct, I'm going to just say yes.
So when we talk about this idea of seeing what you want, but lacking the initiative to go after it, it's oftentimes said that that's a man issue. Like, no, a man needs to initiate and go after what they want.
Right.
Now, we could also see women do that in the workplace. We see them do that in other areas. But in this relationship world, it's almost like there's this, I don't want to say a double standard, but that there is this hierarchy. There's this protocol that we're supposed to follow. And I'm wondering, one, who made the protocol? And two, like, are you committed to that protocol till death do you part? Because it may come down to it, to where you could have everything you want is right in front of you. You just have to initiate it. And some women are just like, then I'll miss it.
Woo. And so I don't know. Well, I don't struggle with it because that's not my situation. But I just think it's kind of unfortunate because a lot of the women that do pass up maybe on what could be a great thing for them, those are the ones that I see complaining about being single. Those are the ones I see complaining about it's no good men. Those are the ones I see complaining about, you know what I mean, having to do things on their own and the struggle of a single woman and all of these things. But it's like it's 16 guys that knocked on your door. Maybe not all of them were, you know, a perfect candidate, but one of them had to be a good suitor. You know what I mean? But because he didn't check off every single box on the laundry list of 150 things that you got on that list, it's like you just discard men. And I think it's because the society has told us you can just swipe left and it'll be a brand new one right there for you. But I think a lot of people are realizing like slim pickings.
That's good, man.
Slim pickings these days, bro.
That's good. So check this out. Say, and want to bring the Bible into their reasoning for not doing. So they say a man who finds a wife and I'm not gonna fight you.
Yeah, no.
If you're gonna live on that, die on that.
Yeah.
Now, if that is a circumstantial standard that you're standing on because you're young, you feel like you have time and you're fly. But when it comes down to it and the heat is on, are you gonna still stand on that? It's very interesting. Sasha said, if we're aggressive and shoot our shot and pursue you, we're coming on too strong. But if we fall back and have you to do it, we're not doing enough. So which one is it? I'm confused. I'd say to each his own. I think that. Go ahead, Mike. You got something to add to that?
No, I was just gonna say I think they're getting confused with shooting your shot and aggression and pursuing. I think that shooting your shot is like, hey, I've been seeing you at the gym and I just wanted to know if you were single. That's a shot. That's a shot. It's not saying, hey, can I take you out? Can I buy you lunch? Can I buy you dinner? I'm gonna call you every day. That's not what shooting your shot is. So I think we're getting shooting your shot mixed up with actual pursuit of a partner.
Bro, that is probably the most wonderfulest revelation or distinction I've heard made in a long time around this topic.
Yeah.
So when I think about it from that lens, I'm like, okay, you could always approach a guy and say, hey, you want to pursue me?
Right.
That's you shooting your shot and you staying in your lane at the same time, your lane that you created for yourself. Yep. Walk up to that man and be like, hey, you want to shoot your shot? Or hey, you want to pursue me? Like sometimes that little assist is a game changer, man.
Yeah. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I like that, bro. I like that a lot. All right. Elaborate. So have you ever been in a position where a woman shot her shot and you felt like it was too aggressive? Kind of going back to what Sasha was saying.
I'm a fan of aggression, so no. Too aggressive? No. Not at all.
No such thing.
For me personally, I don't mind either way.
Meet me with the habanero. Yeah.
But I think that a lot of so here's the thing. Here's what I really think that women are I don't want to say afraid of, but are trying to avoid. God dang it, rejection. I think men, I think, have become, I don't want to say immune, but we've gotten aggression because we've been the ones in pursuit. So if we're not constantly, but if we're going up to women we may be interested in, we're hearing a lot more no's than women are hearing. So I think that women, when they get rejected, it's like, oh shoot, I wasn't ready for that because I've been told I'm the prize. I've been told the man should chase after me. I've been told all these things all my life. So now I actually do get out there and put myself out there. And the guy that I really am trying to see what's up with, he told me no, or he's in a relationship, or he doesn't see me that way. And I think that most women don't want to hear that. So they use things like, I don't do that type of thing, or that's not for me. But you want to be in a relationship.
Mike, what is rejection?
I think rejection for me is getting an answer other than the one that I want.
It sounds like getting an answer other than the one that you want is exactly what it is. You're getting an answer other than the one that you want. But what is rejection?
Rejection is the no. I'm looking for a yes, but you're
every
giving
time
me a no.
Somebody says no, it's a rejection. So is rejection what happened to you? Is rejection the moment? Is rejection the feeling? I can feel rejected.
I think that rejection is the outcome. I'm saying I want to be with you. The outcome is you saying no, I don't want to be with you, so I can't get what I want. If I want you, I can't have you because the no. So I've been rejected. And I'm gonna look it up while we're having a conversation. So you know how we do. Let's get the actual definition instead of us trying to.
All right. I'm gonna look at Pookie said, "What's up, my Pook?" Pookie said, "I know several females." Yes, happy Mother's Day, Pookie, and to you, your child, and your wonderful cookies that you make for us that I haven't gotten any recently.
Oh my God!
Pookie said, "I know several females who shoot their shot. It's a no and unnatural for me." Pook, yes, Ray said they debate this weekly. It's a no and unnatural. That's wild.
So rejection is the universal, often painful experience of being dismissed, excluded, or refused in personal, social, or professional contexts. And it triggers physical and emotional distress, often activating the same brain regions as physical pain.
Okay. So have you ever been told no and didn't feel rejected?
Damn, dude, that's a good question. But I think anytime I've been told no, if I wanted the yes, if I was going after the yes, then yeah, there was a feeling of dang. There was a feeling of rejection there, I think.
Have you ever been told no and didn't feel rejected? Because if the definition of rejected is being told no when you want a yes, but sometimes you hear no when you want to hear a yes and you don't feel rejected, I feel like I want to maybe separate the definition from that term because it doesn't seem to always be true.
Okay, that's valid. Yep, that's valid.
How can rejection be the response or the outcome of being told no when you want yes, when you don't feel the same way after every no?
That's valid.
And so when I think about the last part of the definition that you read about how it can trigger this X, Y, and Z, now we're talking about something different. We're triggering you to imagine or go somewhere in your head that, can start some self-suffering, or then it's an emotion. But just like any other emotion, right? Is it telling you the truth about a situation? How is it informing you about what's happening to you? The feelings are valid, but are they factual? Are they you feel them? But the reason I just want to have a conversation about this, unpack it, because we, and I have too, have created a narrative around my mom said no, my dad said no, I felt rejected by my parents, I felt rejected by my lover, I felt rejected by my spouse. And that's such a strong word to use especially if you haven't unpacked it, that it carries an unnecessary weight. It carries an invisible weight. It's not there.
It does.
You formulate it and you create it in your head, and now you don't do certain things because of the fear of a term that you haven't even unpacked.
And that's what I'm saying. And that brings me back to my very first statement about, I think some women are afraid of that rejection piece. So they've created this narrative like, I don't want to feel like this no more. So I'm not shooting my shot with nobody else.
Feel like what?
Less than, not chosen. Ali said here. Ali said rejection for me is when a man I want doesn't feel the same. However, I've learned there is always another man waiting, and I know a lot of great men, so rejection doesn't bother me. What does that say? Sings for the. What does that say? Stings for the 2 seconds.
Yeah, stings for 2 seconds, and I'm over it. So real quick, Ken said I'm lost. Just getting here. Ken, we're talking about women not shooting their shot, and if they're willing to stand 10 toes on that until death, are they willing to marry a man that wants them, knowing they want somebody else, but that one that they want hasn't shot his shot, and she's not going to shoot it, so she's going to live without it and settle for the man that wants her? That's what we're talking about. And so I want to
go ahead, bro.
I just want to add this piece to it. If the conversation is about rejection, how is it that just in the relationship or the dating arena, it seems like rejection seems to carry a different outcome? Because you go on job interviews and they tell you no, but you keep applying.
Filled out 200 applications today and gonna fill out 200 more tomorrow without a thought of it being any kind of problem. Because you know that you want something specific and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get that something. So why not carry that over into a relationship? Real quick, I also want to say, like, because I saw what Sasha put. She put, some men say, well, I'm a man, so allow me to be the man. So we're not saying that there's one standard or you should just use this one thing for every single man you encounter. You got to know the person that you're engaging and that you're talking to. If that doesn't work for him, then cool, it doesn't work for him. But you also have to understand that it may work for some other men. You can't throw all your eggs in one basket and think the same seasoning is going to work.
I like the conversation.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how many people are willing to do something different about it, but
yeah, for sure,
it is interesting to think about. If it comes down to it, and you're like, 30, 40, 50 years old, and you're still single, and you've met a lot of men that you really liked, but none of them have shot their shot. I wonder if at any point you rethink your strategy. Ferguson Marv said, I was rejected only a couple of times. I did feel maybe I was too aggressive or too easy. Some men, I believe they have to be the approached. Some men thrive on the challenge.
Valid. I've been both.
It is, yeah. All right. So Pook said, I don't look at no as a rejection. Example, you want to date your friend says no in fear of changing the dynamics of the relationship. The no won't change your feelings, but maybe will give you a better understanding of the no. Listen, it's what happened, and then there's a story we tell ourselves about what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
It's different when someone like, if I asked a girl out, and she say, nope, I reject you.
Now we know what it is for sure.
Versus her just being like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But either way, for those who just joined the show, I want to play the video real quick so you can see what we're talking about here. And at what point do you pick up on a hint, brother?
All right, bro.
All right, peace.
See you.
Love you.
Wait, you said what?
No, I didn't say anything. You're good.
All right, see you.
I really want to be with you.
Whoa, wait, what'd you say?
Bye. I didn't say anything. I'll catch you later. Bye.
All right, see you.
Nah, we're gonna talk about that. Nah, ain't no I see you. Nah,
only if you want to.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So the thing about throwing a hint is, if you throw the hint and they don't pick up on it, then you can feel like you did your due diligence. I flirted real hard.
That's so true. No, that's so true. That's so true. because I feel like had he been interested in her like that, I'm sure it wouldn't have been like, oh, all right, bye. He probably been like, oh shoot, okay, so look, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Maybe we can, whatever, have another date or whatever it is that they were doing. But yeah, it and I think that was her way of putting out the fillers too. You know what I mean? Let me see where this cat is really at. So I'm gonna drop a little cute, funny stuff. But if he bite, then I know I got him. Type of shit.
To me, it seems like when you tell the story of how you and your partner met, girls just don't want to tell a story about how she had to approach this dude.
That's good. I never even thought about it from that standpoint. Damn.
I think the women that I've met, they love telling us, "Oh, how'd you guys meet? Oh, let me tell you, girl." No girl wants to start the story with like, I saw him and I approached him like, "Hey, would you?" It doesn't feel right coming off their lips. I've heard this before, so I get it. But how far are you willing? What are you willing to miss out on life due to this standard? That, man, I really don't know how valid it is when it comes to that is you stepping outside of your femininity. But teach his own.
Yeah, and we're talking about years and years of programming. You know what I mean? From when these women were little girls, what their moms were telling them, what their dads were telling them, what TV was telling them, what music was telling them, and now a lot of these women are our age, and they're still stuck with this mentality of what they've been taught. And I'm not saying that's a wrong way to think. I'm just saying that may be why.
This is crazy right here. Check this out. Ken said, crazy. I was so shy. I missed my shot with women to find out if I shot my shot, I would have got it. See, and that's the crazy part. Like, some women, those who are willing to shoot their shot but are afraid of rejection. This goes for men and women. It's like, dude, like, what if you got it though?
Right.
Like, what if you taking this step of courage and faith opened your life up to a whole new realm of possibilities?
Right.
Off of one rebellious moment of you stepping outside of societal norms and saying, I'm going after what I want, how I want to go after it, regardless of who agrees with it or thinks that it's shameful.
Yeah, man.
Brother man, that's good. I like this conversation. What else you got over there? I thought I saw something else from Ray. Ray said, definitely felt the rejection from a parent, and also felt when I was being rejected by other family members. As a young man, I noticed the rejection from women triggered the same feeling that I felt from that rejection of family. So I didn't answer the question, man. When I think about rejection, I don't think about a no. Rejection for me is having had belonged someplace and then being put out.
Oh, okay.
For me, I can't feel rejection from a place that was never home.
Okay.
Rejection almost sounds like eject. Like I was in the cassette tape. I was in there, and then you rejected me. You pulled me out of a place that I already was. We're talking about a place you never had access to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying to you? So I can side with Ray talking about like, dang, like it feels different when this is home and you're told, or you think like you've been here, you feel like this is home, and there's reason to support that this is where you belong, and then you're cast out or pushed away.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's different. Yeah. Yeah. Rashani said that's good, Ray.
Yeah,
all right.
sure.
Well, that was fun. I'm ready to move on to the next video, bro. How about you?
Let's get it.
All right. Next video coming up. I don't know what order we going in tonight, but we about to have some fun with this. So let's try this one first.
Being kept but not chosen is a different kind of pain, because technically they're still there, still texting, still calling, still keeping access to you, but not fully choosing you. And that confusion will drain you slowly, because you start living in emotional limbo, not fully loved, not fully released, just emotionally stuck. They give you enough attention to keep you attached, but not enough certainty to make you feel secure. So you keep hoping the inconsistency changes, hoping the effort grows, hoping one day you'll finally feel fully claimed. But deep down, you feel the difference. You feel when someone enjoys your presence but avoids commitment. You feel when someone likes access to you more than responsibility for you. And let me tell you something, half love is exhausting. Being almost chosen can hurt more than being alone, because at least alone you know where you stand. But being kept without clarity, that will make you question your worth if you stay there too long. Love should not feel like waiting to be fully wanted. The right person won't keep you in confusion. They won't keep you nearby while acting unsure. They will choose you clearly, consistently, and intentionally. So stop settling for being kept. You deserve to be chosen. Being kept.
Mike shared this video with us for a few reasons, so we're about to find out why.
So initially when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, man, this is good. And I watched it about 2 or 3 more times. And what ended up actually hitting me was the hope part. And the hope part took me back to what Pook and what you always say, hope is unnecessary. If somebody is showing you a specific action consistently in your own mind, and whatever communication has going forth and this action is still happening, it's no need to hope. This is what it is. This is what it is. So at some point, I feel like some kind of self-awareness, self-accountability has to happen to where you say to yourself, I'm hurting my own feelings at this point because I'm expecting something. I'm hoping for something to happen that this person has clearly from action, from consistent patterns shown me isn't going to happen. So how is it that I'm still getting my feelings hurt? Because I'm choosing to hold on to this light, this candle for something that the other person has already extinguished.
So it's interesting because in the video she explained it sounded to me like she said inconsistent behavior while also seeing consistent behavior. Like you're being taken care of, you're being kept, but not chosen. Mm-hmm. So there's certain things that are being done that are consistent. So the disconnect I think that's happening is that I've been in a situation before where what behavior makes her feel chosen may not be the behavior he thinks it makes her feel chosen. So, like you always say, there might be an opportunity for communication. We may have 2 different norms. Me doing all this where I come from means I've chosen you.
Yeah.
You're saying until this happens, I won't feel chosen. You guys have to discuss those 2. And I think that discussion helps you not to villainize another person just from operating from a whole different set of norms than you. When we don't communicate, we have a tendency to over personalize, like this person is doing this deliberately, which they could be doing it intentionally, but not deliberately to hurt you because this is how they were trained. Well, you do this, you know what I'm saying? You want the man, you're going to show up at his house, you're going to cook for him, you're going to do this and this and that, you know what I'm saying to you? But the guy is like, well, I'm waiting for her to do something different. And I think that's the part where these arguments come in, these have these deep, very passionate misunderstandings, just like communicate like, hey, here is what makes me feel chosen.
Yeah. Instead of assuming that the person, well, you should know, or every other guy or every other girl did it this way, or it should be obvious. It shouldn't though. It
what
shouldn't.
They call it it's common sense.
Right. This is common sense. But no, because like you just said, if this is not the way I grew up seeing relationships, this is not the way I grew up executing when I'm in relationships, then I can't possibly know what you're used to or what you've been doing because we just now doing this thing. You know what I'm saying?
And then once you find out what their need is when it comes to making them feel chosen, you can decide if this is what I want to do.
Because I still may not do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like Rashonda said, but common sense ain't common.
There it is.
Common ain't common.
There it is, man.
It's interesting. I think everybody needs a friend, kind of like Mike has been a friend to me, that will let you know when you're overcomplicating a situation by believing it should be a way that you've never even had discussion about or reason for believing it should be that way. Yeah. Does this person know this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, man.
I got a prime example. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Now I was gonna say I got a prime example today. I shot somebody a Happy Mother's Day text, and it was just like, "Thanks," very dry, very. I'm like, oh, all right. I know you're a mother. Because where I come from, most mothers, it's a big deal for them, and so they thank you so much. You know, all of the things you would normally get from saying Happy Mother's Day to a mother, and then she went on to say, I don't celebrate Mother's Day or any other of those type of holidays. So my kids are not doing nothing for me. I'm just at the house chilling, and she's okay with that. But to the point though, you basically restating that you can't expect someone's beliefs, the way they've done life to line up with yours because yours has been this way this whole time, or society has said this is the way it's supposed to be. And you can't look at the person different because they don't do things the same way that you do them. And I like the word you use. You can't villainize the person because they don't do life the way you do life or the way you feel like they should do life.
Yeah. I like that, man. I like that. So Reeve said Mother's Day is overhyped, overrated, overplayed. And to know that about somebody when you're so-called dating them or getting to know them, it's important. And not to know it to change their mind. Just be like, oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. Then you have to decide that if, for instance, birthdays are a big deal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if you're like me and you're not like a big birthday person, but birthdays are big for you, you have to consider, do I want to date this dude or do I want to marry this dude? Because I would be hoping that at some point birthdays will become a big deal for him. But if they're not, would I be okay with that?
Yep. Agreed.
Very interesting.
Agreed, man. That's good.
Ferguson Marv said, I've had the experience once, but I didn't stay too long. I just moved on once I figured out what was happening. Is that in regard to... Tell me what that was in regard to. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's good, man. I think I like the I think I like the idea of being chosen, but I think again is one of those terms that can mean a lot of different things to different people.
It can.
You know, and again, I'm wondering if waiting to feel chosen or waiting for anything, waiting for someone to shoot their shot, waiting to feel chosen. I'm wondering if there's any room for accountability or initiative on my side that could help facilitate these areas where I feel like I'm supposed to be waiting. Maybe maybe you put yourself in a place of waiting where you should be initiating. Who told you that was where you wait, not where you initiate?
Interesting. And a lot of, you know what I hear a lot of and see a lot of is I'm waiting on my my person to find me, and this is what I hear from women. I'm waiting on my person to find me, but while you're waiting, you're not doing any work on yourself. You just waiting. So when he finds you, if he finds you, what's the quote you always give?
True heartbreak is when what you desire was. Oh yeah, true heartbreak is when what you desires you, but you're not prepared to give what you desire what it deserves.
Exactly. So when he finally finds you, your person that you've been just waiting for, and you're not even qualified no more to be with this person, then what? Because all you doing is waiting. You know what I'm saying? It's like me I'm waiting on my dream job. I don't got the education. I don't got the hands-on experience. I don't got nothing it takes to get this job. But for whatever reason, hey, we saw your resume and we wanted to bring you in for an interview. I'm not prepared because all I've been doing is just waiting for it.
Golly.
Gotta do something other than wait.
Let the church say amen.
Amen and amen.
So let me ask this before we move on to the next video and move on to the next part of the conversation. Was there something, did you need to feel chosen, or do you think men have something that makes them feel chosen? I might have to log off just for a quick second. I had a sinus infection this week and I feel an attack coming on. So if I go off camera, you know what happened.
Yep. Do I feel like men? So yes. I feel like we would like to feel chosen, but I think again, society has told us like, nah, that's a woman thing. We got to choose the woman. So I feel like it feels good. I'm not going to even hold you. It feels good when a woman like steps up and makes you feel like you're the one that I choose. You know, all of these things. But is it something that I can say that we or I expect? No, I don't expect it. But I feel like, honestly, bro, I feel like that it makes me feel that much better when it happens. Like I felt chosen by Janae, but then I can't say that I felt chosen by any other relationship that I've been in. And I mean, you know what I mean? I felt like they were happy that we were together, but I can't say that I felt chosen by them the way I felt like I chose them. But and I feel like that a lot of men go through that, and some of our male viewers can tap in when it comes to that. But yeah, man, that's where I stand with it. And it's unfortunate that, in my opinion, that men are made to feel like they shouldn't want to feel chosen. They shouldn't want to feel, you know what I mean, that way, because that's a quote unquote female trait. But in my opinion, the shit feels good. And I think that any man that says that they don't need to or want to maybe has just bought into that stigma around men wanting to feel chosen. I think Donnie is dealing with his sinuses. What Ray say? Ray said, it feels good when what you chooses you back. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Again, like I said, I don't have any reservations about putting myself out there with the woman that I'm with and saying, hey, I choose you. I want to be with you. You my person, all of the things. But then when that's reciprocated, I feel like that just solidifies the relationship, solidifies the bond that much more. You know what I mean? Because now it's like, okay, I knew we was in this, but now I really feel like we in this thing together. And then that makes that man want to do the world for you, give you the world. So many times women want their man to just do all of these things, but it's like in the back of his head, he's just trying to see if you really even want to be here. You know what I'm saying? Because men are expected to do so much in the relationship, provide, protect, you know, all of the things. And that's great and that's fine. But I mean, it's nice to feel appreciated. It's nice to feel wanted, you know, and it's nice to feel chosen. AJ said, I feel chosen at all times because I have my heavenly father who continually chooses me and he always will. 100% facts. But I think in this situation, we're talking about in relationship. Like God choosing you is definitely the number one, number one winner. But when we're talking about in relationship, your partner, or you know what I mean, if you believe in boyfriend, girlfriend type relationships, in those type of relationships, is that something that men want to feel chosen in? What we're trying to say. Isn't it her choosing you when she says yes? No, that's to me, that's just her response to me choosing her. You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily. That's like to me, Rashonda, what that sounds like is when a person says, you know what I mean, I love you, and then the other person says, okay, like you're saying yes because of a question that I asked, you know what I mean? Or you're saying yes in response to. You're not coming out and saying, hey, this is what I feel, this is what I want, etc. If that makes sense. Why does Don have all y'all for his profile picture? Oh no, that's just not the way the system works. I don't think we can separate it. So it's across the board. Interesting. Yeah. So, and I'm not saying this is how all men feel. I'm just saying that the men that I've talked to, the men that are in my circle, Ray included, when he chimed in, it's not something I feel like it's brought up for this very reason. I feel like we feel like it's bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger fish to fry than just us complaining or asking or telling our partner, can you choose me? But I've learned through therapy and through talks with other great men that if it's something you want, tell you, and especially if this is your partner, you know what I'm saying? Tell her, communicate that, because if you don't, you're not going to get it, and you're going to want it and not get it. So why be in a relationship? You want something from this person, but you're not willing to speak up and say, hey, I want this. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense at all. So D is not back. I think I'm gonna go on to the next. Oh, there he is.
Man,
I don't know if you can hear.
Yep, I heard the conversation.
Okay.
While I was being attacked, and nobody came to help me.
Listen, brother, I know they couldn't keep a good man down.
Right, these sinuses. I'm happy it's coming out though, bro. The infection is real. All right. I like that. I like the idea of when you choose to have a moment to feel chosen in return. It's almost like I learned from one of my from Arrow. It's like when someone says, I love you, don't be so quick to say it back. Just let it sink in for a moment.
Yeah.
So that you can feel the full reception of it. And then later on, then you say it, because it feels less like a courtesy and more like a intentional choice. Yeah.
That's good, man. Answer this for the folks. Yep, that's the one.
How do women make men feel? How does a woman make me feel chosen? Godly.
And you can't, again, this is, I know you say how do women make men feel chosen? I feel like that's a case by case basis. I feel like I can't sit here and say all men want to feel chosen by XYZ. Some men feel chosen by buying them by gifts. You know what I mean? Some men feel chosen because, man, you sit here and you cook a meal for me every single night. When you're tired, when you don't feel like it, when you don't want to, that's how I know. You know what I mean? It's different things. I feel like this is why communication is so important. You got to talk to your partner. You can't assume that your partner is going to be like every other man out there and want what every other man wants or needs. But for you personally, brother,
I think that what makes me feel chosen is a woman verbally confessing that she's with my program. I thoroughly think about how I want to do life and how I want to do dating, how I want to do marriage and stuff like that. And for her to come alongside and be first curious about how I want to do it and say, okay, what are we doing? Something about that for me kind of embodies an agreement and a partnership and a support, even almost like a submission close to. And that is like, because when I hear chosen to do what? Chosen to lead. That's when I feel chosen to lead. When I kind of sense from you verbally your buy-in to how I want to do this thing. Just like when a woman says, I want to feel chosen, I ask the same question, chosen to do what?
Yeah.
What do you want to feel chosen to do? Because if you're chosen, the idea is that you're chosen to handle a responsibility. So what responsibility do you want to be chosen for? Well, I want to be chosen to be a wife. Okay, so what responsibilities does a wife have that you're looking to be chosen for? Oftentimes when people say, I want to feel chosen, they're saying, I want a title. I don't want the responsibility, but if you're chosen, they're giving you this for a reason. The reason is the responsibility. So that's what makes me feel chosen when someone, when a woman says, I understand this is the program and I want to be a part of it. I want to follow you in that.
Solid. I like where
the voice stop.
I like what Ray said. Ray said, show me that you want to be here. Show intention. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, like so many times, women want their person to give them the world, and you know what I mean. That's great. If you find a man that does want to do that, that's awesome. But I don't want to say there needs to be incentive, but I do want to say the man should also feel like, okay, this is worth doing. You know what I'm saying?
It's good, man. It's good to have these kind of conversations because relationships are not about the accumulation of titles.
Right.
The accumulation of titles, the accumulation of gifts, the accumulation of quality time, the accumulation of care. I don't think that is what relationships are really defined by or built on. It's by the acceptance of responsibility, the mutual acceptance of responsibility for one another. I think, and that's not just designated to romantic. That can be a brotherhood, sisterhood, parent to child. When you mutually embrace the responsibility you have in this other person's life, I think therein lies the foundation of a relationship.
Solid. Yeah.
Man. Oh boy. All right. Assume the responsibility. We ready to move on to the next video?
Yeah, let me tap in real quick. E-Rock said, it feels good to feel wanted and it's necessary for me personally. Each partner plays their part and it's a vibe. Man, that's facts. Yeah. When each partner plays their part, whatever, and that part is whatever you and your partner say that it is. It may not be the part that Donnie and whoever his partner is going to be. It may not be their part. It may not look like what me and Janae got going on. It may not look what, the couple that everybody sees and it always says couple goals. Y'all create whatever y'all part is in y'all relationship. Create that and vibe out with that.
And that's the part that I think that's where you start to understand you got your person.
Man,
because there's a way that sometimes you can be attracted to somebody, have chemistry with somebody, but you guys not want to do life the same way.
Yeah.
And you start to see that even in a dating environment, like, no, this is how I like to do life. And sometimes that can be the discrepancy that makes you guys say, we probably can't do this together. Too many people feel like once I meet somebody, I like somebody, I have chemistry with somebody, I got to make everything else work. And I think that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself because you can't make those things compatible. You can't make those things flow. You can't make those things partner well.
You can't.
Like certain things just don't mix. And if you're okay with them not mixing, that means you guys are okay with doing individually. But when you do have a situation, when you do have a situation where there's some differences and one of you guys saying, well, no, we can do this your way, or I can do it, you can do it that way, then I think that does create an opportunity for true partnership to happen. I think too many people are using the term partner and they don't have enough agreement to actually solidify or verify as a partnership. I remember through a season when I was preparing to write my first book, I had multiple married couples tell me the greatest thing you can have in a marriage is agreement.
Bro. Yeah, man.
And I didn't really understand it at the moment, but the more I lived, the more I interviewed people, the more I started to understand how big of a role agreement plays in having a healthy, happy marriage.
And you know what's really been super dope in my marriage, bro, to Janae, is that we can agree. I know we hear it all the time, but we can agree to disagree and that be cool. Like, I'm not saying, okay, we just don't agree and that I'm secretly still harboring some feelings about it and she is too. No, like, let's agree. Like, okay, you feel that way, I feel that way. And your mind's not going to change and my mind's not going to change. And it's fine. It's okay. Because the bigger goal is like we got bigger fish to fry than this. Now, if it's something that the whole relationship is weighing upon and we just need to be in sync, that's different. But everything don't gotta be. We gotta agree on every single thing in the relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
man. Yeah, man. Agreement is definitely. Yeah.
All right. And on that note, moving on. But before we move on, ladies and gentlemen, we should do this back in the day. I just want to do it again tonight. If you love the podcast, you want to keep us on the air, this is our Cash App. We are crowdfunded. It's $88 a month to stay online. Some of you guys give consecutively. And we're just looking for more donors to stay. If it's $5, $10, whatever it is, go to our Cash App $. Maybe this will help. Or hit us up individually if you want, then Zelle or whatever. But we do appreciate any donation that you guys give to help us stay on the line.
For sure.
Online. Do this every Sunday. And on that note, on to the next video.
White is a fucking idiot.
I hate this whole men's mental health bullshit that they talk about. Unfortunately, when you're a man, you are the provider. You are the one that takes care of your family. You are the example for your kids. And unfortunately, you can't be that guy I see these guys posting on social media. Oh, I had a bad day and I'm so sad and all this other crazy shit.
So unattractive.
It's unattractive to other males, let alone women. I can't even imagine. I'm really against all that shit.
Men have a choice. They have a choice whether or not they are going to kill themselves or kill their pride. The reality is that the rate in which men unalive themselves, the rates that they harm people that are close to them, the rate that they take things out, unresolved mental issues on the community at large, is staggering. At a time where we are seeing men hurt their wives, kill their children, run into places and kill everybody because they can't get a date, kill everybody because they feel like no one's listening, no one's hearing them. To say that caring about your mental health or prioritizing your mental health or discussing your mental health is weak or unattractive or something that you shouldn't do is evil talk. We have so much evidence right now that is the last thing that we should be saying or listening to. For him to be at this point and say those things, I would just tell men that not only is Dana White an idiot and a liar, but he's obsolete. That type of thinking is obsolete. I would say to men that I want you to be happy and I want you to thrive. And I want you to thrive and be happy with nothing to hide. I want your vulnerability and your struggle to be something that you can publicly revel in overcoming. I want your son to be able to look at you and say, my daddy went through that and he's better. My daddy can talk to me. My daddy made a better me. The pastor at my church made a better me. The teacher made a better me. My coach made a better me. I know how to be who I am in a better, realer way because that man was better and realer to himself and he didn't have to hide. And there's nothing pussy about that. There's nothing unattractive about that. There's nothing whack about that. Dana White should be ashamed of himself. And maybe if he was better regulated, he wouldn't have slapped the shit out of his wife. Dana White is.
Yeah, man, this one hit super duper close to home, bro. Dang, yeah. So yeah, I've twice in my life I've had some suicidal tendencies, thoughts, one attempt, and it's so crazy during that time, you know. And everybody in the comments is saying, Dana sounds crazy. That don't make no sense. How could he, how could anybody ever think like that? But that's how I thought. Like, I don't have time to sit here and cry, be sad, show emotion. You know what I mean? Any kind of real self-care, none of that. Like, I got, as a quote unquote man, I got to get out here. I got to make it happen. I can't, cry about it. If I get injured, if I get hurt, rub some dirt on it, keep going, drink some water. You know what I mean? And then a lot of that was influenced by the military because that's what we're told. If you get hurt, don't go to sick call. Like, it was frowned upon. You know what I mean? To take care of yourself. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes as men, we're taught and we buy into this whole, that's what makes you stronger as a man. You know what I mean? That's what makes you harder as a man if you don't take care of your mental health or if you don't, cry about it, if you don't talk to your homeboy about it and things like that. And we used to say, that's gay. Why are you telling me about you over here crying because you got your heart broke by this girl? That's weak. You look like a punk. You know what I'm saying? And looking back on it now, especially now me having a son and me going through therapy, it's like so many of these young people and adults are just lost. Dana is lost. I wouldn't even call him an idiot. I feel bad for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we see it every day. People walking in schools, shooting up the school, men, grown men, all these things we seeing in the news and all this stuff going on. Even with your president, mental health issues, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a real thing and nobody really wants to talk about it.
So I want to pick this apart. When they spoke about men being online, sharing how they're feeling, would you say that is the best place to do it, or that a helpful place to do it, or is that just get it out wherever you need to get it out?
I would say both, bro. And I only say that because I've seen videos with men breaking down crying, and it's hit me so deep. It's caused me to want to do certain work on myself. So I understand why certain dudes get on there and they're talking about some really deep stuff that they're dealing with, and they start breaking down and they start crying, and it in some ways evokes like thought. It evokes like, man, damn, yeah, I feel what he's going through. That's how I'm feeling right now. Let me call. You know what I mean? The number that we give at the end of the show. Let me call my homeboy up and check on him, because I know he was going through the same thing. And if this man is on here dealing with this, maybe my homeboy who keep telling me, "No, I'm good, I'm straight, I'm cool," is not really straight, good, or cool.
It's interesting. It's hard for me to accept, and even though I participate, stuff that I hear online, because it's there's always this idea for me that you had to set up a camera to get ready to do this. You had to set up lighting and a microphone in most cases to get ready to do this.
So
but then
we.
there are some raw videos where people just start sharing about something they're passionate about, and then naturally, organically, saying tears and stuff come up. I think that the day and age that we live in is going live. I think it's challenging for some people to accept how genuine and sincere it is, let alone how necessary it is. But what happened was once the internet came, the world felt smaller because you were connected to more people. But the idea that the next shift was that you were connected to more people and still felt unseen. Now you just felt unseen on a larger scale. And so I think that although the world got smaller, it got more lonelier for a lot of people, because they always thought maybe if I could reach other people in other parts of the world, that I'd find somebody like me or somebody I can connect with, and for that to not to be true, some people feel even lonelier. But I say all that just to say, when I am acknowledging or seeing people online and that's their new method of therapy or venting, I think for a generation that came before this, it's hard for them to see that as mature. They didn't grow up with that, with internet and going live as an option.
I can see that. And I'm sorry. What else you got?
So I was just looking at Dana White's generation versus some young men that's growing up now. What resources did he have that may not exist right now in this generation? I think in Dana White's generation, which is probably my generation, I think there was room for there was probably more mentors. There was probably more guidance counselors. There were probably more of that guy in the neighborhood that everybody could kind of go to their house, like that neighborhood uncle. I'm not sure how much of that we have now, because it might be an internet age and people are more, even though we have an opportunity to be more connected, people are more isolated to their online presence as a priority. And I'm just trying to look at it through a different lens to understand why there's such a big disconnect for him when it comes to that specific conversation about men online sharing their feelings.
No, I get you. And then to your point though, like for instance, you mentioned Dana White and having the more mentors and more, you know what I mean, the old man at the barbershop who just always gives you the game. But if those mentors and those men are spitting the same thing that Dana White is talking about, you don't need, forget all of that, man. All you need to do is be strong. You a man, be strong. If they're spitting the same toxic, in my opinion, toxic masculinity, then all that's going to do is flow through him down to the next generation, At some point, the old man in the barbershop, the mentor should be saying more positive things for men to be able to process your feelings, other than just be a man and suck it up.
All right, so let me ask you a question then, because when we talk about mental health, do you think there's a greater strain on mental health nowadays than it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago?
I do.
Do you think that the introduction of the internet has caused a different type of psychological pressure that's evoked more mental health issues in people.
Yes, but I also feel that there's also been a wider variety of outlets for mental health because of the internet and because of social media. So it's
Do you
not
think
like
that the pace though at which
yeah. No. Yes. No. The pace of the negative side of it is greater than the pace of the positive side
the
of it. For sure.
solution?
Yeah.
And so when I'm saying that, I'm just looking at it from, like Rashonda said, the internet has fried our nervous system. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of a lot of people who, again, struggle with rejection. Before the internet and before this world became so small because of the internet, they'll probably face a little bit of bullying at school, maybe rejection from one or two people in their neighborhoods or at the corner store. But now on a global scale, you can be rejected or told no or bullied hundreds of times in one day. You know what I'm saying to you? And so when I listen to an older generation talking about what you need for mental health, I'm not sure if they understand the weight that this generation is under. That's and good, how bro. that old resource may not do enough.
That's good, bro.
For the weight of what they carry now. Because how many school shootings did you have when you were in school, in grade
That's
school?
Good,
you know what I'm saying to you?
Yep.
When you were in school, did they talk about giving your teachers guns because of how many of us were in school in high school before 9/11 versus after? Protocols and everything changed. There was an increase in societal paranoia. There was an increase in racial tension. And all these things exist in this generation. And so people's mental health, I think, is under a different type of strain. I'm not saying that in comparison to the civil rights movement, that this strain is greater. I'm just saying that it's different. And I think that when the pressure is different, a different kind of solution or resource is necessary. And I think that if people are feeling the pressure from the internet, from social media, that maybe what we need to do is allow space in that environment for people to vent and to share what's going on, because that's where everybody's meeting at.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know what I'm saying? You see people online venting about something that's going on and you connect with it because that's where everybody's meeting.
Yeah.
We're not meeting at the barbershops like we used to. We're not meeting at the rec center. These kids, they don't even know what a rec center is.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's meeting online. So if you're in a chat, you're in a game or something where you're streaming and you're sharing these kind of emotions, you have a greater chance of hitting somebody else that may need it. So to downplay a man, you know, being vulnerable online is I think is a lack of understanding who needs to hear him and see him doing that.
That's good, bro. That's good, bro.
You know, mental health and we're in the month of May, man. So mental health awareness month is always big to me. And so I always try to put my feet in somebody else's shoes and say, why do they need to do it this way? Why do they need to vent or share, or why are they, you know, what we call complaining like they are? And when you take a moment to kind of consider all the things they may be up against, it's easier to have compassion or empathy. And then therein lies a better avenue to get to a solution or a remedy.
Yeah, that's facts, man. I want to real quick. We don't have to take too long on it, but I want to tap in and kind of get some comments from the female viewers, because the female interviewer that was interviewing Dana, when Dana said it was unattractive, did Dana say it was unattractive, or did she chime in and say it's so unattractive? I think she chimed in. Yeah. She said it was so unattractive to see men expressing themselves online, and I feel like the underlying tone was in general, men having some mental health breakdowns in general, and expressing that was so unattractive. And I just wonder, from a woman's standpoint, was she saying it's unattractive because it makes him seem weak, or was she saying it's unattractive because, like I said earlier, some people think that crying and expressing themselves is more of a female trait. So now if a man is displaying that, then that's what's unattractive. I'm just curious, man, because she can't be the only woman that thinks that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if we looked underneath that original post, there's some yay-sayers and some naysayers. You know what I'm saying? So it just boggles my mind to hear a woman say that that's unattractive.
Is it attractive?
I don't. First of all, the fact that Dana said it's unattractive to men, I don't feel like Dana, you probably shouldn't be attractive to nothing that men is doing anyway. But you made the statement, brother, so you got to live with that. But I don't know. That's why I'm asking women. I don't know if it's attractive or unattractive.
I'm looking at it through the lens of, if we're just talking about isolated like attraction, what would attract you to somebody? Is it attractive for a woman to see a man crying about something he's struggling with online? Or are you saying that the conversation about attractiveness is not even appropriate right now?
Okay. So I'll tell you what's attractive to me. Somebody that is in touch with their feelings and not scared to show them. So I don't know if that rings with women as far as it comes to men, but for me, being attracted to women, a woman that can express herself and articulate what she's going through, whether it's online, whether it's in person, it is attractive.
All right. So, and I think that there is a double standard there for men and women, right? So check this out.
Oh, for sure.
So Ferguson Marv said, the singer actor Tyrese comes to mind. She said Tyrese comes to mind as he has cried about what transparent and how he's failed marriage and all that kind of stuff. And so I think that when we're thinking about a man being vulnerable online and crying, we're talking about like it's a mental health thing he's trying to overcome. What if a man is online and sharing and is in tears about how his boss is bullying him? Is that attractive? Because he's in touch with his emotions. There's, like you said, a sense of emotional intelligence, as Rashonda said. But what if it's simply about, my kids won't listen to me and my boss is bullying me and I don't know what to do, and this is making him emotional, and he's sharing this online for a reason? Would that make you say, oh, this is a man I'd love to get behind, take his lead on things, follow him certain places, let him lead the relationship?
I feel like basing one scenario and then saying and then going to the extent of following, leading him, letting him lead the relationship based on this one scenario is far-fetched.
So, but when I'm looking at it from a place of attractive versus unattractive.
Okay.
And when I think about on this podcast, what have we said that makes a man attractive, right? We look at that, the man cave, a man that's decisive, a man that's consistent. We look at these different traits. And as much as I agree with you, I think that a man being emotional online doesn't necessarily mean he's in tune with himself. And it doesn't mean he has emotional intelligence.
Oh,
I don't want those to bleed over into each other.
Agree. I
think there's some people, and we're talking about men right now, but there's some men online who you could have saved that, bro. That wasn't online, was not the place for it. You know what I'm saying to you? And so for me, it's not like it's just as cut and dry. Don't be emotional online. My thing is always back. What was the intent? What was the agenda? You know what I'm saying? Are you online because you're upset about something you don't want to take accountability for?
Mm-hmm.
Like what, for me, it's like there's still.
So that's the thing though. Without that conversation, how can we say he shouldn't have done it? Because we haven't talked to him. We don't know what is really behind it. So to say you shouldn't do it just because I feel like you shouldn't do it without any context on why seems unfair.
So you would be willing to come online and cry about something?
I would, yeah. If I thought that it would potentially help someone.
That's so interesting to me. So you would come online knowing that you were going to cry if you thought it would help somebody and do it.
There's topics that we've talked about that I could have easily said, I don't want to talk about that. And I've cried like a baby on this show.
But I'm saying, because we're already doing a podcast, but not saying, oh, this touches my heart. Let me grab my camera and go online.
Yes. Yeah. I think I commend people that are not doing it for the likes and not doing it for the gram and not doing it for all that, but just doing it because this is something that's really touching them, and this is something that could potentially help somebody else for sure.
Got you.
For
So
sure.
if they, as long as they come and they connect that venting to some kind of resource or some kind of enlightenment, not just saying
crying
this
for
is
the sake of crying,
making me angry and I'm sad, and then log off.
Yeah, no, because there's what's the point? I think of that,
and I think that's, and I want to say, just what maybe there's a small area of what Dana White and other lady was saying, like what's the point of doing it? Which sometimes there is one, sometimes there isn't. I think Ray said it best: being online venting walks a thin line with craving attention.
I think this is how I look at it, bro. I feel like, say you went to a church, right? And you went to the church and you feel like you heard from God, you're excited about the words you got, and you're living in whatever you heard, and it's ministering to you, and you see the fruit coming forth, and then you find out that the pastor was stealing money from the church. Does that mean that the word that went forth wasn't good? So what if the person is doing it for attention? If I receive something from it, then I receive something from it.
I think it will make you question.
It'll make you question what you've already received and has been flourishing in your life.
Yeah.
How can you question something that has been a positive impact on you?
Because now you're concerned if there's any stowaways with it. Was it all pure? Did he, within that truth was some error snuck in there also?
Well, I should hope that you would know that in the moment and doing your own due diligence. But I hear you.
Yeah, what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that it's like a person that never lied to you, and the first time that they lie to you and you find out they lie, it does make you question everything else too. Even if everything else seemed and checked out in the moment is valid, that's why it's good to just go ahead and be honest up front, because
facts.
It will taint your reputation in the most nefarious way. Yeah. So I think that ultimately where I land on this topic is that I don't want to sit within myself and think about if I'm going to cry or not before I record myself, because I record myself often now talking about topics I'm passionate about. If tears come out, I'm also not going to stop the recording just because that may look unmanly.
Good, bro.
I'm going to, again, but I'm going online with an intention, and I don't want to shame men who don't have a solution, but they just have tears and they want to go online because maybe that's the way that they find their help too.
Yeah.
I don't think the conversation around, just because you brought it up, if it's attractive or not, I don't think that's part of the conversation when we talk about mental health.
That's good.
Mental health can get very ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that it just needs to.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Yeah. All right. What else we got in the chat? Ray said, I agree. That being open call can still help someone in need. It will make some question, but for others, but for God intended it, for it to reach, it will reach. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. You just made me young. Listen. Yeesh. Yeah. I like that word, emotional dump. It's so interesting because I don't think the internet came with any like
manual.
Yeah, like here's online etiquette. I think people are making it up based on their own temperance, and it's a wild world out here. So
it is. We see it every time we hop online, and we'll get. I don't know if you guys see it, but we'll get, because Donnie has gotten real professional at it. We'll get crazy comments that we have to get off immediately, and it's like we're sitting here doing something positive, but there is no etiquette. There is no. It's like the Wild Wild West. People just come and do whatever they want and get up out of here.
For real, man. Speaking of, let's get on this one right quick.
Europe.
But I'm just letting you know, don't add no ingredients and don't take none out. That's the recipe. But just know, it get hot in that kitchen, boy, and everything may not work properly. But you still gotta cook. And guess what? People gonna be coming with plates out. And they gotta be fed. They gotta be fed. whether you want to go sit down and eat a plate yourself and realize ain't nobody cook for you. You the chef, dog. Keep cooking.
This made me think about you, bro. And it got me kind of, when I first watched it, it got me kind of emo. I'm not gonna even hold you.
All right, so we about to cry, y'all. Let's get into it.
Wait, let me make sure my camera is good.
It's too bright to see my tears.
Because I see the other side of the Instagram post. I see the other side of the book. I see the other side of the gym. I see the other side of helping out the family. I see the other side of helping out Granny. I see all of that, and I see you get in the kitchen and cook on a daily basis. And I rarely see anybody, and this is no shade to anybody in your life. This is no shade. I'm not saying talking to no individual person, but I see how sometimes you don't get a plate, or you don't get to eat. You know what I mean? And you continue to cook. You continue to show up. You continue to be the great chef you are. Your ingredients is still A1. Your presentation is still A1. And it's like, when we have this calling, or when we take on these mantles, I feel like sometimes what comes along with them is a lot. Not saying we can't handle it. Not saying that you don't handle it, because you handle it well. You handle it with grace. But like I said, I see it. You know what I'm saying? And like that handshake that Cam gave him at the end was like, yeah, I see you. I get it. Because we do. We still got to cook. We still got to show up for our families. We still got to walk out our calling, whatever God has for us. And of course, God will give us the strength to do things. But shit, at the end of the day, sometimes you want to just press pause. Like, what's the saying on the roller coaster? Put your hands up if you want the ride to stop. Just one time. Give me 15 minutes so I can just get off the ride, breathe, and then I'll hop right back on. You know what I mean? But it gets rough.
This is true. So what's gonna make it less rough?
And that's the thing, bro. I feel like things like, and this is no glaze, no nothing. This things like our Tuesdays, things like, you know what I mean, being able to leave it on the table at the gym, things like, you know what I mean, the podcast, things like, you know what I mean, being around like-minded individuals, or individuals that have those same, you know what I mean, goal-oriented, family-driven, destiny-driven, and then having these type of conversations like, yo, bro, I see you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, it's something about being able to have these types of conversations with somebody who's there. Kind of, it's like, all right, I'm not in this alone. You know what I'm saying? I may have to, you know, physically do things without these people or without this person, but I know bro is also going through something similar. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it going. Let's keep driving forward. Much more land to conquer. Who gonna conquer it if we don't? I'm not willing, bro. I'm not willing. I am not willing to leave what God has for me in the hands of somebody else. So I'm gonna take the helm, I'm gonna take the reins, and we're gonna drive forward. Yeah, okay, I'm tired, I'm bleeding, you know what I mean? All of these other things, but when you have a brother, when you have a wife, when you have people that are real friends that can sometimes, hey, can you hold one of these reins for me, or can you push this for me, or can I just hand this to you real quick? You know what I mean? It just, it makes it a little bit easier, bro. A little bit easier.
For those of you who just joined this conversation, I think my sis summed it up good. She said, it's the thankless position when you have a certain calling on your life.
Mm-hmm.
What we put up was about you having to provide a certain resource to the people around you. And it was putting the analogy of giving them, cooking up food, making a plate for them, but who feeds you? And regardless of how you feel about it, the people still need to be fed. Ray said, they rarely check on the strong. Bless those that show up for others and keeps doing it despite never being poured back into. And I think Rashonda said it in a good ad note. I watched Avatar the other day and started crying when old girl said, I see you.
Bro.
Not only is it a thankless position sometimes it feels invisible. Some people are out here providing and they not only don't feel like they're being provided for, they don't feel appreciated or seen as anything more than just a resource. And it's like Mike is saying, it's good to have a few people in your life that do see you. I've learned in my existence here that you embrace and thank those who do see you, not try to make certain people see you.
That's so good.
You can't make certain people see you. Let him who has eyes see. I wasn't feeling well this week, right? And I was in my quiet time and maybe under high medication. Might have been high when I had these thoughts. But what came to me was that there's certain people when I'm not feeling well who ask me, what do you need? And then there are other people who say, I hope you feel better. And certain people say, I hope you feel better. Other people ask, what do you need? And then there's some people that say, oh, I heard you didn't feel better. I did X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 3 different tiers of people.
Yeah.
There's the people who want you to get better because they need you.
Damn. God.
Yeah. There's the people who want you to get better but haven't been paying attention to what you need, so they have to ask. And then there's the people who have been waiting for the opportunity to give back to you the way you've been giving to them. They already know what you need because they've been paying attention, just waiting for the opportunity. And you start to identify maybe where people belong based on their attentiveness and their readiness when you are the one that's in need. And no shade to anybody who's just like, oh, I hope you feel better, because maybe that's not your role in my life, or maybe you don't know me well enough yet. But it goes back to something I say on the show all the time. Just because you care about me doesn't mean you know how to care for me. And when you get into somebody's life and you see them as a blessing, one of the first things you should do is identify how to take care of them.
Yeah.
If this person is a blessing in your life, you should commit a portion of your resources to making sure they stay nourished. Because what if the length of their stay in your life and their ability to be a blessing was dependent on how well you stewarded that relationship? Are you paying attention to what they need? Are you paying attention to the things that make them tick? And especially if they're a person that's low maintenance, that doesn't always need you to, when they fall into a situation, you should have been paying attention to such a degree because you say you appreciate them. When I say I appreciate you, it shouldn't just be words. When I say I appreciate you, what I'm saying is that I've been paying attention. I know what makes you tick. And if you ever fall short, I'm jumping right in. Appreciation looks like a readiness to get you back to balance, to get you back in alignment, to get you back nourished. That's what it means to appreciate. Not just, oh, thank you for what you've done for me. When that appreciating you versus appreciating what you do for me are 2 different things. That's all I got. That's my TED Talk, bro.
That's good, bro. I like what Ray said. Ray said even Simon helped Jesus carry the cross. Come on, man. Come on.
We got online.
That's good.
Yep. And that's the John said. That's why we have to check on our strong friends. Those who don't. Kima said those who don't see you, it's because of God. He did not lift the scales from their eyes. I don't know if I believe that all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I believe that sometimes people are. God did send them to be a blessing to you, but in the generation that we live in, sometimes our main focus is on what we're receiving in a place. Is this place pouring into me? Am I happy here? Not do I have responsibility here? Sometimes God has given people eyes to see you and they are ignoring it because they're not receiving what they want. I think when God calls you to a place, there's a form of sacrifice. You should be ready to commit to that space. It's hard for you to walk out your calling if your priority is reciprocation. Damn. If you're only willing to invest in places that invest back in you, then it may be hard for you to, to walk out your calling. And I say that both sides. Like, just because I've said what I just said doesn't mean that I feel any type of way about people who don't reciprocate. I'm still going to feed them because God called me a chef.
Come on.
That doesn't change because people don't say thank you or they don't reciprocate it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying to you? Now it may impact for them how long I'm around. It may impact for them, you know what I'm saying, how much access they do have to me, because those who appreciate or who take better care get more access, they get more resources. But at the same time, I just found it very beautiful when you believe someone is a blessing, you believe you've been called into their life, not to make your contribution contingent on what they do for you, what title they give you. You know what I'm saying? Those are kind of like the two things that I think make you miss out on the beauty of that connection, the beauty of that opportunity, because now you're waiting to receive something to do the thing God called you there to do. If he calls you there to be a resource, to be a blessing, to be a help, to be a heal, do it. Because if God sent you there and said, give this to them for free, what makes you think you should charge them for it?
Yes, sirree.
What else you got over there? You got anything on Instagram? Kima said, I can see your point of view. John said, man, I needed this convo from the start. I mean, we could run that video back, but
run it back one time. We don't got to necessarily get back into it, but just run it back. It's worth it, bro. It's worth it.
All right. I'll run this video back real quick.
But I'm just letting you know, don't add no ingredients and don't take none out. That's the recipe. But just know, it get hot in that kitchen, boy, and everything may not work properly. But you still gotta cook. And guess what? People gonna be coming with plates out. And they gotta be fed. They gotta be fed. Whether you wanna go sit down and eat a plate yourself, and realize ain't nobody cook for you. You the chef, dog. Keep cooking.
Yeah, man. I can appreciate every bit of this conversation because I think that a part of it makes you want to get in your feelings about who's going to make me a plate, and who the one who called you to the work will sustain you and make sure that you have all you need. Where I don't want you to get hung up is that you don't receive love from those who are trying to give it to you because you want it from someone else.
Oh, come on, man. That's good.
Don't get hung up on, I'm doing all this for this person and they don't appreciate it, but this person over here is showing you all this appreciation, all this love, all in this care, but you're looking at it from the place that you're pouring into, and it doesn't always return to you from the place that you poured into. You sow a seed and you reap it, but it may not be in the same field that you sowed it into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rashawn said, you over there fighting for your life, nigga. You all right, bro?
Yeah, I'm good.
Mike said after that video about men being emotional, man, I'm just holding these tears back.
Oh, man, that's good, man.
Oh, man.
That's solid.
John said, some give to others so easily and freely that they don't realize they're lacking and in need until it's too late. You know what? I love that because I would love to live in such a way that I give so freely, not worrying about if I'm running out, because there's somebody that cares about me that's worried about if I'm running out. There's somebody watching me concerned about if I'm running out. And so they're pouring into me so that I don't run out, so that I can continue just to freely give. I think that those are the kind of friendships and partnerships that I look for. Like when Mike says he's watching what I'm doing, and I'm not asking Mike for anything, but on Tuesdays, he's intentional with me. And he's like, I see what you're doing. I want you to keep doing it. So he's like an angel donor to the cause. Oh, philanthropist ass nigga. I appreciate you, dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dang, McJelly said this summed up single parenting.
Oh yeah. No, but for sure. For sure.
That's good, bro. All right. I think we're ready to move on to the next video because
Let's do it, man.
This touched on some things. Whew. All right, what's coming up next? Was this the video I was supposed to pick up last week?
You want to get married one day? No, marriage is not for me. You know what I mean? The custom and it's not a good business move for me. You know what I mean? But I am all for. Why you mean not a good business move? Well, first of all, let me just say, you know what I mean, to be able to go and sign an agreement, you know what I mean, to the courthouse to validate my love, it just doesn't equate to the type of love that I have to give.
I hear a lot of conversation about marriage basically being paperwork, business transactions. That's what we want to get away from. We don't want a contract, okay? Which, if you're honest, has nothing to do with anything in the marriage. It's about ending the marriage. The whole thing is about what happens when I don't want her anymore. That's what this contract is about. How much money am I going to lose when I'm ready to move on? But setting that aside, contract. Brothers and sisters, we believe that marriage is much deeper than that. And I think you believe it too. We always talk about how insignificant marriage is. It doesn't mean anything. We don't need this for our relationship. But at the same time, this little piece of paper also has the power to destroy our entire lives. It can't be unimportant and important at the exact same time. We know that marriage is deeper than a contract. It's a covenant that God is putting people together. He is at the wedding. But if it were a contract, my dear brother, what are contracts for? Contracts are designed to protect a asset. The contracts are designed to put parameters around the thing that we don't want to go awry. Contracts are a bit of security. They are walls, they are borders, they are fences, all the things that we want. Because it is a motivation for me, my brother, to give the love of my life the most security, the most reassurance, the most of me that I possibly can. Me declaring to the state, the world, and my God that I am hers till death. I think that is a gift. The contract is a gift of security to her. The contract is a gift of security to him. It should not be seen as the thing that questions love. It protects love.
Talk to us, Mike.
A few things. Omarion needs to knock it off. He doesn't even believe in monogamous relationships. So we know why you don't want to get married, brother. Secondly, the part where the brother at the end of the video was talking up, huh?
You know that's KB, right?
Oh shoot! Now I do.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
He got a new album out. So all his stuff is, he got this new song about the ring. He got his wife, like it's, you know, but
I'm familiar with
he's fire, bro. But anyway, not just a reference.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Okay. All right. But still, I don't the part where he was saying that he feels that the contract is a gift to his wife for her to feel secure and, you know, all of those things. I feel like if you guys are talking about marriage or getting married, if you don't already have those feelings of security in your relationship, the wedding, the contract, and nothing else is gonna give you that. I'm sorry. That piece of paper not going, and if it does make you feel that way, it's going to be fleeting. It's not real because they weren't there before you had that piece of paper. So now that we didn't sign this piece of paper, now we didn't say these words in front of these people, all of a sudden now you feel secure, safe, taken care of. To me, I would question that.
So let's start with that one in itself. What does the piece of paper protect you from? Does it protect you from the consequences associated with you possibly making a bad decision in a partner?
No.
Does it protect you from the risk associated with if this doesn't work out?
No.
So as much as I understand, and I'm not against people, doing a marriage license and the contract and all that kind of stuff, but I do wonder about that conversation about, don't you want your partner to feel secure? And yes, but I would like to have a conversation around the tools we believe would bring about that level of security.
Exactly. And that's in 1000% agreement with that. I want my wife to feel secure without this piece of paper. You know what I mean? The contract, the piece of paper, cool. I don't knock it. I got married. And I think it was the greatest thing, one of the greatest events that ever happened in my life. However, it didn't affect, change anything about me and Janae's relationship or how we felt about each other or how we dealt with each other at all.
If we go back a few years ago, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, for those history buffs out there, interracial marriages were illegal, correct?
Yep.
So the state would not acknowledge, verify, or endorse an interracial marriage. So they couldn't get contractually married by the state.
Was they still getting married?
Did they feel secure?
I felt like they felt secure in their love 1000%, because they still went and had a family, created a home. Some of them, well, most of them are probably still not alive. Some of them are, and still married and still happy. They may have gotten married contractually later on, but that didn't stop them. That didn't say, okay, we can't be together no more because we can't be married. No, love don't have nothing to do with that.
So John said, he makes a good point. Health insurance requires that paper to cover a spouse, for example. He also said it's a legality issue. It allows them to receive legal privileges that are only granted to the spouse. And I understand that because I learned that in Texas, that in the state wants to have influence over your marriage, and they do that by offering you incentives for letting them be apart, which is where you file your marriage with the state so that they can be apart. And they say, hey, make us apart so we can give you these perks and these privileges, which you could actually, if you're able to construct that amongst yourselves, there's other paperwork. So, if we're looking at the contracts that you're talking about for like health coverage, there's other legal paperwork you can put in position to make sure your partner or your spouse has enough say so when it comes to your health, and it comes to your life decisions and your money and your accounts. Like there's other pieces of paper that can make sure, certain monies are separated and you have access to certain assets. There's just a very unique combination of benefits that come with the marriage license. But if we look at it through the lens of the pros and the cons, I don't think a lot of people are looking at any of the cons associated with the marriage license. And I think that's why it's such a good conversation to have, because how much influence do you want the state to be able to have over your marriage while you're in it, or maybe even after it's over? Even like some people say, if you're going to get married, you guys should use your first time home buyer privileges before you get married, so that you guys don't lose one. Like, there's certain things that you are no longer eligible for either after you get married. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a fair and balanced conversation. Look at both sides of it.
I agree.
Power of attorney is what Rashonda said.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think it's just a good conversation to have. But I think it's even better from Mike's point of view about what does finding out what that piece of paper could mean to the person that you're dating before you guys get to a place to where you're like, that's not important to me. You know, if you're dating somebody, asking them like, do you want to file your marriage with the state might be a great first date question, or, you know, maybe a good third date question, just to find out where they stand with that. Because if it's not important to you and it is important to them, at some point you guys may need to have a different kind of discussion, almost like boyfriend and girlfriend for me. Like, that may be important to her, but it's not important to me. So when you get to that space, you're like, I want this title. Like, cool, you can have it, but it doesn't mean anything to me.
No, wait, over here.
it could be a point of, you know, contention to her, like, oh, well, I want you to feel this way about this. And I'm like, that doesn't make me feel secure.
Yeah.
Just like people need that contract to make them feel secure. Other things make me feel secure. And I think this is where, again, people who like each other, have compatibility, other people who like each other and have chemistry, find out that they may not be able to do life together.
Which is okay.
Which is not rejection.
Thank you. No, it's not.
This is interesting. So with the time we have left, bro, let's just spin off of this conversation. Tonight's topic was, how did you mess up your last relationship? And it's something I think I shared with you this week that I wanted to bring to this conversation tonight, kind of just like venturing off from the last statement I just made about finding out what's important to your partner. How did you mess up your last relationship? Maybe it was by how you started your dating process, or maybe it was the intention that you entered the dating process with. Some people are dating considering what's happened to them and trying to get into a situation that either heals what happened to them or makes better sense, or helps make sense of what happened to them. They are dating with what happened to them in mind. Other people are thinking about where they're headed and who they're becoming, and they're dating looking for somebody for that person. And so again, when the question is, how did you mess up your last relationship? My question to that question is, did you date to find someone to help heal what happened to you, or were you dating to find someone for where you were headed? Because those aren't always the same person.
You know what's so interesting? I think in me and Janae's dating, I think I was both of those people. I think initially it started off of, oh shoot, this is way better than my ex. Let me stay right here. And then I think it evolved, you know, with therapy and the things that we were going through at the time, things I was going through at the time. I think it evolved into dating for where I want this to go. You know what I'm saying? And do you think that's possible for people to be both sides within this one dating arena?
I had not considered that, but I think it is. That is a good point. I think that we said on this show before that if you experience a deficit in your last relationship, right? Say your last relationship, you didn't get a lot of respect and dude put hands on you. You're might move into the next dating phase for someone who's very respectful and not abusive. But there's a lot about the future you.
Come on,
things
man.
that you're going to need that you may be negating to look at simply because this happened to you in the past. And so you're hyper focused on recovering from your last relationship instead of preparing for who it is you're becoming. And so when my mentor would talk to me about these things, he said, don't date for today, date for 5-10 years from now. What path are you on? Who are you becoming? And think about that, because you might find yourself attracted to a person that feels like they're out of your league, but you're actually headed in that direction. So it's okay. Somebody who's going to stretch you. Somebody's going to challenge you in some regard versus someone who makes you feel safe again after what happened to you in the past.
Solid.
And so when I asked the question, how did you mess up your last relationship? I think for a lot of people like myself, it would start with, how did I start the last relationship?
Come on, man.
How you start matters. Yeah. So before your marriage, Mike, how did you mess up your last relationship?
I'm gonna go with the start. I think that, you know, I was fairly devastated by the relationship I was in before that one. And I feel like that heavily weighed on certain decisions that I made in that new dating phase, certain things that I became okay with, certain red flags, even with my red flags with myself, red flags with her, that I just completely ignored just to feel a connection. You know what I mean? And no shade to her whatsoever, but it just wasn't, there was no real thought put into it. It's like, oh man, this just feels good in this moment. Let's just build on this. Had I did some real soul searching about why I even felt a need to be in a relationship, had I did some soul searching, was I healed enough to be in another relationship, had I, done all these things and work on myself first, then I probably wouldn't have ever been in that relationship.
That's good. How did I mess up my last relationship? I think I shared this with Mike before. I think that, and I'm not saying that if I would have done this, it would have worked.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it.
But I am saying that I think I was too accommodating without communication of where I was making my accommodations. I think that my mess up was not standing up a little bit more, because I was in a different environment. I never dated a girl like this before, and there was a lot of standards that were new to me, and that they were enforced, and they were like hard. And for me, I was more along like, I'm going to show you that I'm a good man. I'm going to show you that men can rise to the occasion. I'm going to show you how different I am, without expressing moments of stretching, moments of irritation, moments of confusion. I think I pretended a lot like I was more okay than I was.
Interesting.
And I think that's where I messed up the relationship. I don't know how she would have responded to, or what that might have done to the relationship, if I had been more honest about how I felt about it and where I was with certain things happening, instead of just taking it on the chin and trying to just lead and say, no, it's okay, I'm gonna be a man of God, instead of being like, yeah, I'm a man of God, but in this regard, I still need work. This is not working for me.
Yeah.
Oh, when this happens, it makes me feel some type of way. I think I should have spoken up more for myself towards her. Should have spoken up more to myself towards her mother.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to be disrespectful, but I muted myself in moments when I definitely should have spoken up. And I'm pretty sure from her side, it might have looked towards the end like, this is a big shift or a big change. Like, where did all this come from? So that's why I say I could have contributed to the last relationship not working out.
I feel that. While you were talking, it generated a question for me, and I think that question is, when we, realize these situations or moves that we made in previous relationships that may have not been the best move to make. Do you think that sometimes when we get into new relationships, new dating situations, that we then go to the other side of the spectrum? Like for instance, you said that you muted yourself. Now, in this dating situation, now you loud as hell. You got the volume on 100. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's kind of like what I tended to do is, like, for instance, with Janae, after that relationship, I told her when we first met, I don't want to date. Looking back, I don't know if that was necessarily true. You know what I mean? Maybe I didn't want to just date randomly, but I definitely wanted to date Janae. But in my mind, like, because this happened, because I felt like I moved too quickly, because I felt like I wasn't ready, now I'm on the whole other end of the spectrum. I don't want to date. I don't want to be in no relationship. I don't want none of that. You know what I mean?
I think that when whatever we find out in our last relationship that we had a deficit of, or we didn't do more of, we should have made a difference in, I think that instead of infusing that into our dating personality, we should aim that at a circumstance. When this shows up, here's how I'll respond. if this happens, here's how I'll respond. Not just this is who I am now. I'm hella boisterous about and vocal about, and I'm gonna talk about, and I'm gonna say what I need. Like, no, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you feel like you want to mute, aim it at those kind of situations, not just at the identity of a dater.
And I'm glad you said that, and I agree 1000%. But what if it looks real similar? What if it looks real similar, brother?
Then you're gonna have to do something. That I saw a video this week, and it talked about the difference between when you show grace and when you operate from discernment. And it talked about how grace is for marriage, discernment is for dating. And so it talked about if a man isn't doing something and that's your husband, then you show grace. If a man isn't doing something and you guys are dating, that's not the moment for grace. That's the moment for discernment.
That is really good. Holy shit.
I was like, yeah, so that'll be on next week's episode. I'll send it to you in the DM. But so to answer your question, it is in that moment, I think, that you have to identify if you're gonna operate from grace or discernment.
Yeah.
I think that this is a problem where you hear that people are in these premarital relationships called boyfriend and girlfriend, giving marriage grace to someone that they're technically only dating. They're dating exclusively, when that is really a moment for discernment. Grace should be reserved for when the covenant and the commitment has been agreed upon and expressed publicly. Because now this is my vow till death, and so grace is needed for that. I'm not to say that grace isn't needed for dating, because there may be a certain degree, but more discernment than grace is probably needed when it comes to dating.
Yeah.
2 cents.
I like it.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. At the end of every podcast, I'd like to leave you guys with a resource. That resource is the number 988, which is a suicide prevention and hotline number. They have counselors ready to hear you vent. If you need somebody to talk to or just share and that won't say anything back, you can call this number. Or if you need somebody to say something back and send you a resource, send you materials, or send you to a group, support group, or a therapist. Sorry, this number can do that as well. This is a good number also for if you're just looking to up your skills. Like if you're trying to learn how to be a better communicator, be a better parent, you can get connected to different resources that'll help you in that regard as well. So use this number. If you're thinking, I wonder if this is a good number for me to call for this situation, just call it. They don't have to report you to anybody like you're having an issue. It's just a resource that can connect you. If that's not a good fit for what they do, they'll let you know and probably refer you to somebody else. But screenshot this number. And as I always say on every episode, just because you care about somebody doesn't mean you know how to care. Yeah. If you really want to make your impression felt on somebody and you don't know how to actually reach them on a psychological or emotional level, reach out to this number and they can give you some guidance. Yeah.
That's solid, man. That's yeah. I hope people are really utilizing that number too, man. That's a talk about a tool and a ready in the palm of your hand tool at any given moment, at any given time. You got somebody that you can reach out to, that whether you need a sounding board, whether you need advice, and these are trained professionals on the other end of this line that can really help out. That's solid.
Hey man,
they can't get to you and me 24/7. You know what I'm saying? So the next best thing would be 988, in my humble opinion.
The Lord, call the Lord.
He don't talk to everybody. Anyway, I'm gonna pray us out, bro.
Good.
I'm gonna pray us out. Between your yawning, your sinuses, nigga, I got it. See, I'm out.
Can we talk?
All right, go ahead and pray, bro. You on mute.
Oh man, that was funny. Father, we thank you for another great show. I was going to get on here and thank you for all the mothers, but I think we've done that today. I want to thank you for the people, Lord, that you give them a hug and hold their hearts tonight, Lord, for the ones that have lost their mothers, Lord, the ones that are grieving their mothers, the ones that want to be mothers but can't have children, Lord, the ones that, you know what I mean, have been trying to have kids and haven't been successful, Lord. We thank you that You know what I mean? You just keep them in your arms and hold their hearts through this season, Lord, and let them know that there's more to them than that title, Lord. I just want you to protect us as we go throughout the week, as we go to our jobs, as we go to, school, whatever it is that we're doing throughout this week, Lord, that you keep us protected, Lord. You keep our minds protected. You keep our mental health protected, Lord. And we just thank you and praise you for all that you've done and all that you're going to do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Jesus' name. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, until next week.
2 Chainz.
Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me. That's what I wanna know. Come on and talk. Can we talk? Come on and talk to me, baby. Come on,
Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
Maybe this will help.